Good morning, students. Today we'll be starting with Science 2, chapter number 7, Introduction to Microbiology. Microbiology is the study of microorganism and its application in biology. Here we'll be learning more about applied microbiology. Applied microbiology means it's a branch of microbiology which is used to create products which are useful to us. The definition is branch of biology in which the study of the enzymes related to some prokaryotes and eukaryotic microbes, proteins, applied genetics, molecular biology, etc. is performed is called as applied microbiology. This study is used for the society and various products like food and medicines are produced on large scale with the help of microorganisms. That means in simple words, we utilize microorganisms like bacteria and fungus and algae and etc. And we try to find out the useful products create out of it which can be used in food and other industries, and we utilize them. That is called as the applied microbiology. Industrial microbiology. This science is related to commercial use of microbes in which various economic, social and environment related processes and products are included. Various microbial processes useful for this purpose are carried out. Industrial microbiology means the microbiology which is used as a commercial part of. That means the products which are produced using microbiology or microbes rather, they are used to gain profit. That is, it is used in the industry. It can be used for economic purpose, it can be used for social purpose, that means creating food grains and things which will help to eradicate poverty, as well as for protecting the environment, for environmental related processes also. Industrial microbiology has two main features. The first one is various production with the help of fermentation process. That means we make bread, cheese, wine, etc. which are made by the process of fermentation using microorganism. And the second main process is use of microorganisms or microbes for garbage management and pollution control. That means how the garbage can be utilized to create manure, or maybe how pollution can be reduced. We'll be seeing this in detail in this chapter. The first product that we are learning is dairy products or milk products. We know that since olden times, milk is converted into various products for its preservation purpose. Even in our own house, we make things like cheese and paneer and butter and cream and curd and etc. The water content and the acidity of the milk changes during the fermentation of these products, and the texture, taste and flavor is improved. We know how normal milk looks. It's more of a liquid and sweet to taste. Whereas the moment it gets converted into cheese, it becomes different. When it is butter, again it is different. Again, when it is something like yogurt or curd, again its texture changes. Now, these processes that what we are doing is at a small scale in our own house. But when we try to do it in a large scale for the commercial purpose or for selling or things like that, that time it needs to be using a proper technique and using microbiology and microorganisms. So these processes are performed on large scale with more skill. For production of most of the milk products, the bacteria in the milk are used. We know that milk contains a bacteria called as lactobacillus. Only cheese is produced with the help of fungus or fungi. The basic process of production of curd or yogurt, cheese, cream, etc. is same. What happens? Milk is pasteurized at the beginning to destroy unwanted microbes. Pasteurized means in that process what happens? The milk is heated up to at least 80 degrees or more, so that the microorganisms which are present over there, they get killed. It is then fermented with the help of lactobacilli. In this process, the lactose sugar of the milk gets converted into lactic acid, and the milk proteins are coagulated with the help of lactic acid. Besides, many compounds and byproducts are formed which improves the taste of the product. For example, diacetyl as a flavor of butter. Now here what happens, normally if you see milk is sweet to taste. Now why is milk sweet to taste? Because it contains a sugar called as lactose. Now when the fermentation process occurs, that means you are adding lactobacilli, that is the bacteria. Now these bacteria, they start converting this sugar into an acid called as lactic acid. And the proteins which is present in the milk starts coagulating or combining together or joining together to form a semi-solid kind of structure. That's why if you see that curd has a little sour kind of a taste as compared to milk, and in the same time the curd is more solid or semi-solid as compared to milk, because the proteins have coagulated, and the taste of or the flavor of curd is little different from that of milk. What are the yogurt product? Now yogurt or curd is a milk product produced with the help of lactobacilli. We just saw the process. Now normally during in your own house, if you have seen your mother or someone else making curd, you will see it's a very simple process. What do? We take milk, we boil the milk, we boil the milk to kill the microorganism present. Then bring it to the room temperature, a little warm, and then we add lactobacillus. If you see, every process has a scientific step. What we do, we boil the milk, so we kill the microorganism. Bring it to warm temperature or maybe little less, then add curd which contains lactobacillus. Now once that you keep it, mix it with the curd, mix it with the milk and keep it maybe like that for some time, whole night or something like that, and by the time next day morning you see it has coagulated to form curd. Now that is the process that we do when we are doing it at home, a simple process. But if the same has to be done at a level of a factory or something like that, then there is a little different. Now here what we do is, for maintaining the protein content, the condensed milk powder is milk mixed with milk, which has to be fermented for industrial production of curd. Milk is boiled, and once it cools down to warm temperature, the bacterial strains of, here we use different bacteria, Streptococcus, Thermophilus and Lactobacillus delbrueckii are added to the ratio 1:1 proportion. That means each are of equal proportion. Then the lactic acid is formed due to the streptococcus that makes the protein to gel out and gives the dense consistency to the yogurt. That is the difference between homemade curd and the curd that we buy from the factories or the shops, because you'll see the consistency is different because the type of microorganism used are little different. Acetaldehyde-like compounds are formed due to lactobacilli that gives the characteristic taste to the yogurt. Nowadays, we have various fruit juices also mixed with yogurt to give a different flavor. For example, we have strawberry and apple and banana, etc. Which are enhances or improves the flavor of the curd. Shelf life of yogurt, that means how long can you store it, and its probiotic properties. Probiotic properties we'll be learning little later, can be improved by pasteurization. Means the way you're prepared with, the way you have boiled the milk can improve it and make it better. The next product that we are learning is butter. Two types of butter like sweet cream and cultured are produced on a large scale. Microorganisms are usually used for the production of the cultured variety. Cheese production. Cheese is produced on a large scale from available cow milk all over the world. First, chemical and microbiological test of milk are performed. This is done to understand whether the quality of the milk is good or not. Some colors and microorganisms like Lactobacillus lactis, Lactobacillus cremoris, and Streptococcus thermophilus are mixed with milk. These are the microorganisms which are added to impart certain good quality to the milk. It imparts even sourness to the milk. We know that cheese is little sour as compared to the milk. After this, to impart the dense texture, that is the texture of the cheese is different from the milk. Whey is nothing but the water which is remains when The formation of curd means when you make curd, after the curd is removed, the watery part of the milk that remains is called as the whey. Now that is also needs to be removed, because if the whey remains in the milk, then it will be, the cheese will become watery. Originally, in the olden days, an enzyme called as rennet, which used to be found in the alimentary canal of cattle, were being used. This was not acceptable, because we know that in the olden days we used to use a lot of things from animals, and but that was becoming a problem for people who do not eat non-vegetarian things. Nowadays, instead of using any animal product, we use microbiology or microorganism to create products which have similar properties to the original one that we used to get from the animals. So nowadays we have an enzyme called as protease, which is obtained from a fungi, is used to to produce vegetarian cheese. So instead of using what was available in the gut of the cattle, we are using a microorganism produced thing. So the whey is separated from the yogurt. This whey is actually very nutritious. It is used for many other, because it contains a lot of proteins. Then the process of production of cheese is started through steps like cutting the solid yogurt into pieces, then it is washed, then rubbed, then salting and mixing of essential microorganism. Certain color is given to the cheese and different flavors are added, and ultimately the cheese is processed and cut into small pieces and then stored for ripening, and after that they are kept in the market for sale.